Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel and to another video. Now I do understand that the subject matter of this video isn't necessarily politically correct, so I've been thinking back and forth a lot about whether I even wanted to bring a video like this to the internet, but I've decided, you know, that what should it benefit you if you win the world and lose yourself? So I decided to be true to myself. In this one I want to discuss how I feel pretty privileged, which I feel personally is preferential treatment based on me being very mindful of how I look before I leave my house, be it whether I have chapstick on, whether I have perfume on, you know, being mindful of what my hair is looking like, of the outfit that I'm wearing and stuff like that, you know, does affect how people are treating me. I also want to say, and I know that, you know, being crystal clear on the internet often amount to nothing, but I still want to give this disclaimer. In an ideal society, pretty privilege shouldn't exist, okay? But unfortunately, you guys, we do not live in an ideal society. You know, I'm not perfect and neither are you, and we are society, okay? You know, unfortunately, the world is fat phobic. We know this to be true because even though you'll see an overweight person in a Fenty Beauty show, we are yet to see one in a Louis Vuitton show, in a Hermes show, in a Fenty show, and this does tell us a lot about the state of the world, okay? Also, some of humans' attraction to beauty is innate, okay? Studies about the halo effect have proven that, you know, even toddlers and babies were more likely to smile at humans whose face were symmetrical. You know, babies were more likely to let these strangers carry them. So this shows that, you know, pretty privilege is somewhat, at least some of it is in our DNA, okay? So good luck fighting that. Now, with that being out of the way, these are the ways I feel pretty privilege affected my life. I feel like the biggest way in which it affected my life is that I no longer have anxiety about leaving my house. I really feel this is the biggest way that it has changed my life. I used to have tremendous anxiety around going outside. Now, I'm gonna say that unlike some women that I've seen on TikTok, I do not feel like people outside were going out of their way to mistreat me and be mean to me. But I felt more, I guess, invisible than anything else. You know, there are women here on YouTube, women who used to be overweight and who've lost a tremendous amount of weight, who open up about how they felt invisible as they were bigger, and that is not their experience anymore. I can say it's more something like this. I felt pretty invisible before. I didn't feel, again, that people were going out of their way to mistreat me, but I still had real anxiety about that happening. Now, I can't say that that anxiety was justified or not, but it is just how I felt. You know, I did feel very anxious about going outside. I did feel like, you know, people going out of their way to mistreat me or being mean to me, at least, you know, is something that could actually happen. So this is the biggest way that my life has changed personally. I do no longer feel any anxiety about going outside because I know that people are going to be nice to me. This is my experience through and through. It has been my experience for the last couple of years. You know, people smile at me, people, you know, give me compliments. Now I understand that, you know, our confidence and our self-esteem, most of it should come from inside, but some of our confidence and self-esteem does come, you know, not self-esteem, because self-esteem is an inside job, but some of our confidence, you know, does come from other people's reassurance and, you know, validation. Don't argue with me, you know, argue with your mom about it, with your week, okay, period. So yeah, and I get gifts as well. You know, it doesn't happen every single time, not all the time, but sometimes I'll go to Starbucks and I will get, you know, the coffee gifted to me. I will have donut gifted to me. I will go into shops and store clerks will let me use their discount codes. You know, people who work in certain shops have like a discount code because they're an employee. They will let me use it. Now, the second way that I feel like pretty privilege improved my life is being able to get out of tricky situations. I have been able to get out of speeding tickets, you know, on numerous occasions. And in that moment, I knew that this person was just letting me go because, you know, they found me attractive, because they were kind of flirting with me. And other, you know, I don't want to give too much away, but other situations that, you know, could have been tricky, I did feel like I was let off the hook because the people found me to be attractive. Now, the third way I feel pretty privilege has improved my life is in relationship with men. I feel like men are more likely to put up with a lot. And I'm not proud of this, but I have actually been pushing the boundaries and pushing the limits to see how far, you know, some would be willing to go. And I've seen that, you know, some people would actually, you know, were willing to go pretty far. So, you know, men are actually willing to, I don't necessarily think, and I filmed a video about this before, that men treat pretty women better. I don't necessarily think that. And I'm, you know, I'm going to film another video about the ways that I felt that pretty privilege affected my life, or is affecting my life negatively, right? But so me personally, I don't feel like men treat attractive women better, but I feel like men are more likely to put up with more when it comes to dealing with attractive women. I feel like they're willing to put up with more in order to sleep with attractive women. They're willing to put up with more in order to be seen outside with attractive women and then be validated by society and their mates, right? Fourth ways that I feel like pretty privilege has improved my life. It has improved my confidence personally. You know, I believe that when we look good, we feel good. Now, some people will say that it is not pretty privilege that makes people treat you better. It is the fact that you're very confident that makes people treat you better. But I beg to differ. I disagree with that. For example, if somebody is fat phobic, right, you being comfortable with yourself, you being confident with yourself, it's not going to change the fact that that person is not going to like you or going to mistreat you or not going to want to date you. So for me personally, I don't feel like our personal confidence necessarily affect the way other people view us. But I personally, I can say that, you know, making sure that I have my best foot forward always before I leave my house, or even within my house, you know, making sure that I always have clean PJs on, you know, some chapstick on, that my hair is together. Even when I'm at home, it's a way that I feel, you know, my confidence has improved a lot, which in turn has improved, you know, my overall life and happiness a lot. Now, another way that I feel that pretty privilege has improved my life is that people are more likely to help me. Like, for example, before yesterday, it was raining cats and dogs, you guys. Like, the rain was so heavy. It was crazy, and I didn't anticipate that. I didn't leave my house without an umbrella. So as I got to the city, you know, I hid like under a building that does have like a longer roof, you know, like a bit of I guess a porch or something like that, you know. And I was not there alone. I was there with so many other people, you know. There were women and men with me, you know, standing there. I guess our plan was to wait it out, you know. But the rain just wouldn't stop, you guys. Like, it was raining and raining and raining again, cats and dogs, for like 15 minutes. But there was a shop like right next to a coffee, right next to where we were standing. And then this person came out and he was like, "Do you want an umbrella?" And I said, "Who, me?" And he said, "Yeah, you." And again, bear in mind, we are many people, so why would he single me out and want to give me his umbrella? Anyway, he did give me the umbrella, and I did, you know, go on about my day. You know, it wasn't the first time that something like this happened. I remember a day where I got on some wine, a lot of wine, to be honest. And, you know, I put it like in a paper bag, a bag that, you know, not very smart to put 5 bottles of wine in a paper bag. So anyways, you know, obviously, you know, they felt true, and, you know, immediately so many people came and like, "Oh, how can I help you?" You know, they helped me like with the other groceries, because it wasn't only the wine. I had like 2 brown paper bag and wine and other stuff, so they brought like other bags that were not paper bags where I could put the other groceries in. You know, one even offered like, "Can I buy you some more wine?" and stuff like that. And by the way, stuff like this has happened to me before, a couple of years ago, and yeah, I did not receive that much help, if any help at all, okay? So trust and believe that I have, like, I think the good thing about being like an ugly duckling is that you have, you know, you can see both sides of the coin. Like, you've been on both sides. You've experienced, like, you know, people being kind of indifferent towards you, and then people, I guess, going out of their way to help you, be nice to you. Another way that I feel pretty privilege has improved my life is that I have been given opportunities that I feel I would not have been given if I was, you know, not as, I don't know how to say this, because, you know, obviously some people like to debate that attractiveness is subjective and stuff like that, but I personally would say that the most accurate way I could describe myself is being slightly above average in attractiveness. Okay, I feel that is the most accurate description of myself, you know, and because of this I have been given gifts and opportunities that I was not necessarily deserving of, if you want to look at it like from a very objective lens and a very realistic perspective. You know, I don't feel like I have always been deserving of, you know, the opportunities and the chances that people have given me, and in addition with that also I find that sometimes some people, you know, I guess this is the halo effect, really. People deem me, I think that their view of me is not very objective. I feel like some people think of me as a better person than the person that I am, because I'm someone who is extremely self-aware. I know this to be true for a couple of people for a fact, that, you know, they think very highly of me, which I'm not saying that you know, there are not great things about me, but I know myself very well, and I know that I'm an extremely flawed human being, you know, like it is very balanced. You know, I have qualities and I have flaws as well, but it seems like to some people they really hyper focus on my flaws, on my qualities rather, sorry, and downplays my flaws a lot, or just don't see them at all, refuse to see them. So I feel like that's another way, you know, I can say that pretty privilege affected my life or is affecting my life. Now this one is going to be extremely controversial, but I do feel like pretty privilege is shielding me from colorism a bit. Actually, I don't think so. I know so. Okay, I've had a nose job, right? You can find videos on my channel, and I know that futurism is real because I used to experience it before, right? And post nose job, I know that people's treatment of me is different. Like, sure, I'm still a dark skin girl, as you can see. I'm very dark. Okay, I'm a Fenty 490, but I don't feel like people treat me, oh my god, how do I say this without offending people? I guess there is no way to say it really without offending at least somebody. I don't feel like I get the typical black girl treatment. I get the, yeah, you black, but you're not like other black people treatment, you know, like, and people feel like, you know, I should take this as a compliment, which really, I mean, my mom is a fat black woman, you know, so as you're telling me I'm black, but I am, you know, you like me better or are treating me nicer because, you know, I'm not fat. Like, you're insulting my mom, you know, you're insulting other black friends that I have, you know, like, you tell me I'm black but I'm different from other black girls, you're insulting my sister. Like, this is not, it's not the compliment you think it is. Like, it's not the flex you think it is. No sir, okay, no ma'am, right? So I do feel like pretty privilege is giving me a treatment that is slightly different from the treatment that I used to receive before, you know, pre-rhinoplasty, pre-nose job. So yeah, you guys, those are some of the ways that I feel like pretty privilege has, you know, improved my life. Now I'm going to be another video about how it has improved my life negatively, because, you know, everything in life has two sides. You know, I like to think of it as a coin. You know, it has a positive side but it has a negative side as well. Sure, it may not be, you know, as big, I guess, as the positive side, which is why people do not have tremendous empathy for this type of videos. But there is a negative side to being, I guess, slightly above average in attractiveness. I also want to say that I personally believe that everybody can benefit from pretty privilege, and in the coming weeks I'm going to share, you know, my top tips about, you know, how to be attractive, I guess, because, you know, as we discussed in the very beginning of the video, we can't change the world, as in we can't control human behavior, but what we can control is ourselves. So for those of you who are interested in, you know, I guess changing some, you know, of your grooming habits, I'm going to share my top tips in the coming weeks. I'm grateful for you for watching this video, for, you know, making my voice sound valid. If you disagree, that's okay. You can let me know respectfully in the comment section down below. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you know, depending on how you feel about the subject. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye guys.